This is a short video of some of all the things that I welded with my little Harbor Freight 90 amp flux wire welder. But I did the DCEN conversion. I'll link to that in the description. That just basically converts the alternating current that normally comes out of that into direct current and nothing else. No smoothing, no capacitors, just a bare bone conversion. And in so doing, it created a night and day difference between the weld quality. Whereas previous, I was getting a lot of spatter and minimal penetration, and now I'm getting maximum penetration and minimal spatter. I'm still getting some spatter, don't get me wrong, it's Flux Core, and the cheapest one at that. But this is all the things that I put together. I'm building this trailer. This was a, let's see if I can zoom out. Yeah, this used to be 25 feet long. It was a towable camper. It was 25 feet by 8 wide. There was kickouts that were sticking out every so often, but they were just light duty, like this stuff right here. I don't know what it is. It's really thin. It's maybe 16 gauge or 14 gauge or somewhere around those lines. But I knocked off, I don't know, I shortened it to 16 feet, so I knocked off 9 feet and used those remainders in there to weld and fur up the chassis some. I also moved the suspension forward by a good, I don't know, at least 2 feet. So I had to weld all those on there. Weld that on there, weld that tube on the back. I made this brake because I also am building asphalt infrared heaters, and I've already built some. I'll show you those in a moment. Those are way too thick. I mean, they work. They're on my channel. They're definitely functional. But also, currently temporary out of order is my porta bandsaw stand. Goes on that. This the same crap that I made the infrared panels out of. That's I think it's an 1/8 inch thick or 3 millimeter. I'm not quite sure exactly what the spec is on that. But here's the infrared heaters I built. They definitely work. But they're just too thick. They're too heavy to handle. So I want to make thinner ones out of thinner gauge steel, and that's why I built that big brake. Because that brake is 4.5 feet wide. I made that little hand tamp. I also have a homemade, there's a lute that I made out of a rake. Man, this welder kicks ass. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's a $100 welder. And just by making the DCEN conversion, I'm going to show you the support mechanism for right there. There's I got a truck bed crane, and that's what I use to lift all the stuff out. On that crane, I also have a boat winch. I should probably get you some video through the window of that. I don't leave that up because some of you will be able to steal that. Yeah, you see that boat winch on top of the crane. So I put the crane on that post, and I can use that to lift in and out. I got a vibe plate that weighs 150 pounds. Obviously, that's too much weight for one man to blow my back out. So I can lift these panels out. I can lift the vibe out. Building that trailer. What else do I got going on? Oh, also, I built this little trailer. This used to be a little tar trailer. Somebody took the tar trailer part off and just left me the chassis with the wheels. So I welded on the jack. I welded on the tongue. I welded on these chains. I welded on a whole bunch of diamond plate, scrap diamond plate. And I built this box that measures 2 feet wide by 5 feet long by 14 inches tall. Aren't those welds beautiful? So yeah, I got a lot of different projects going on, and all made possible with that cheap ass Harbor Freight welder. The cheapest one they've ever sold. I bought it, I want to say around roughly 2012. And I've been beating my head against the wall with it for about maybe almost 10 years before I did the DCEN conversion. And now I just love it. Yeah, awesome welding. I also have a knife grinder project I'm building. I'll probably shoot some video of that. That's up in my house. It's not quite fully assembled yet. And it also needs another piece of tubing or two. But I just got done welding these on, so they're probably still warm, but this is my brake. It's 4.5 feet wide. It's got an opening of about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. I only need 4 feet, but I just made it 4.5 feet to have some kind of marginal comfort. And these are some kind of bars that came off a camper. They're just perfect for this application, so I used them. Maybe at some point I'll have to put rebar up there to put a bolt right here for what's it called when it deviates from flexing. But I'm only going to be bending 16 gauge. I don't think I'll have need for that, but it's always an option. Also, I mounted this to the trailer because I don't have any extra steel to build the legs, and I would need a good sized footing to counter the torsion that would be generated when you're folding 4 feet of steel. So what better than this trailer? Is just too convenient. And of course, I mean, that's telescoping tubing, so I can pull that out and make actual legs for it at a future date. But I just wanted to make a video for the DCEN conversion of the 90 amp flux welder. There's all sorts of tutorials on YouTube about how to do it with the 125 and various other welders. It's an awesome process. I don't know why the Chinese manufacturers of these cheap junk welders aren't doing it stock, because man, the weld quality is just immaculate. And it's only like it could be done over there for about $20 additional. But I mean, I bought thicker wire, 8-gauge wire in there, and I put terminals on the end. So I mean, it was a $100 upgrade for me. But I mean, they could definitely cut corners and get it there for $20, maybe even cheaper. So I don't know why they don't, but if you guys are listening over there in China and you want to make these janky ass welders a lot better, just add a rectifier, nothing more. And over and out. Bye. There's some more welding I did with that cheap welder. I welded 1/4 inch angle irons to the underside of this 10-ton pickup, or I'm sorry, dump truck at work, as well as this 3mm plate extension. Also added these on. They popped off, and I had it to scab it back on with this strap, and there's one on the other side as well. And also at work on this tar trailer, I'm going to be jacking that up because it broke off and it fell down. Like the other side, see how it's on top of the C channel. I got to jack that up and get it on top of the C channel. But up front, I put on this and this for the propane, as well as this angle iron. It's a great little welder now that I did the DCEN conversion. Well, we had an early day, so I brought the trailer home and I put some weld on it. It looks disgusting because all the tar leaked down on the bead, but really nice bead, not too much spatter. Awesome penetration. I love this little piece of shit. 110 bolt. Look at that. You can't beat that with a bad outdoor flux core 90 amp welder. The cheapest of cheap of the upgrades. That heat sink that I put on there, I just had it. It was probably really not necessary. This is more or less overkill. I mounted the rectifier to the inside of that panel and just shot some screws through. I'm gonna throw a little stitcher up in here. But I just wanted to show the before. I might shoot a video afterwards. But here, let's use that scissor jack to jack up the trailer, and that ratchet strap to align everything, get it nice. I had to use that clamp over there to align it as well. Oh, I'm done with that. But alright, I don't know if I'll shoot any more video. I might get that knife grinder. It's all welded up. I just need one more bar for it, and then I got some assembly and some wiring and all that crap. But I mean, I just wanted to demonstrate the welder more than anything. It's doing awesome work. Did all sorts of work up at my job. Did that trailer. Did that metal brake, the sheet metal brake that I didn't use yet, but it's all welded up. All booger welds everywhere. I mean, some of them are great, but they're not that pretty. But for the size of welder it is, man, it's fantastic. Do the DCEN conversion. All right, I'm outie. Here's my knife grinder build. This is some of the welds on it. This is quarter. That's quarter. These are, I think, 3/8. Yeah, those are 3/8. I'm sorry. That's 3/8. That's quarter. This is 3/8. Quarter-inch tubing. Work in progress.